Zamfara elders raise alarm over release of arrested bandits. Correspondent reviews challenges of the health sector in the outgoing year 2021. Mali's president suspends prime minister amid tensions over elections. On Sunday at a meeting in Seoul, the state capital, where it recommended the revitalization of community-based associations to generate funds for the establishment of primary and secondary schools, to offer free education to orphans who lost their parents as a result of banditry in a bid to prevent a reoccurrence of such incidents. A former member of the National Assembly who represented Zamfara Central Constituency, Senator Saidu Dansadao, told journalists on behalf of the group at the end of the meeting. Senator Dansadao acknowledged that the security situation in the state has improved significantly following the shutdown of telecom services. The presidency says it is unlikely that the National Assembly will override President Muhammadu Buhari's veto on the Electoral Act Amendment Bill because of party allegiance. A presidential spokesperson, Femi Adesina, in an interview with Channels Television, said that it would be irresponsible of all Progressives Congress lawmakers to do so, which contradicts Buhari's stance on the controversial bill. APC, the president's party, controls the majority in both the Senate and the House of Representatives. President Buhari last week declined assent to the electoral bill 30 days after it was transmitted to him by the legislature on 19th November. Due to the controversial direct primaries clause therein, the president on the rights of Nigerians to participate in governance as his reasons for declining assent to the bill. And on the sporting arena, the Confederation of African Football, CAF, says footballers heading to next month's Africa Cup of Nations finals will be allowed to play for their clubs until January 3rd, 2020. States clubs must release players 14 days before a continental championship or the World Cup. Correspondent Mohammed San Uba has details of this and other sports updates.
The Confederation of African Football has agreed to allow players whose clubs have matches between December 27 and January 3 to play them before joining up with their national squads for the CAF of Nations finals, which kicks off in Cameroon on January 9. That will come as a relief to English clubs who had been due to lose their African players by the individual arrangements for players to stay with them for as long as possible before the start of the tournament. In another update, Nigeria head coach Augustine Egabon has named his 28 finalists of the Super Eagles of Nigeria for the 33rd Africa Cup of Nations, taking place in Cameroon between January 9 and February 6, 2022, with Captain Ahmed Musa, midfield enforcer Wilfred Ndidi, and forward Victor Osimhen, all making the cut for the big house party. The three-time winners will confront seven-time and record winners Egypt, Sudan, and debutant Guinea-Bissau with a venue in the northern town of Garau with the group opener on Tuesday, 11th January. Former Nigeria captain Egabon has selected 4 goalkeepers, 9 defenders, 5 midfielders, and 10 forward to aim for Nigerians' fourth diadem in Cameroon. Goalkeepers are Maduka Okowe, John Noble, Daniel Apeyi, and Francis Uzoho. Defenders include Kenneth Emeru, Ola Aina, and Abdullah Shehu, while midfielders consist of Joseph Ayodele Aribo and Chidera Ejuke, and forwards Kelechi Ehenacho, Moses Simon, Odion Igalo, Paul Onuachu, Teo Aoni, and Samuel Chukwueze are also on the roster. There is return to the group for former Under-17 World Cup winning captain Kelechi Nwakali, forward Emmanuel Dennis, and 2016 Olympic star Sadiq Umar. Meanwhile, striker Victor Osimhen will undergo check-ups on Thursday and Friday to determine his readiness to return to action after surgery for facial fractures recently. Calcio Napoli 24 has reported that doctors will on those 2 days ascertain how well he has recovered from the injury he suffered in November. And on tennis, reigning Australian Open quarter-finalist Andrei Rublev has tested positive for COVID-19 and his travel plans to Melbourne for the 2022 edition are in jeopardy. Russia's world number 5 won this month Mubadala World Tennis Championship in Abu Dhabi, which appears to be quickly becoming a super spreader event for the virus. Muhammad Sani Uba, Freedom Radio.
The global news is coming to you from Freedom Radio 99.5 FM.
Musa, me kake nema a cikin kitchen?
Masoyiyata, ina son cokali in sha magani.
Masoyina, ka ɗauki comics kawai, ka yaga, sha ka samu sauki.
Haka ne fa, ku yi amfani da comics ma duk kai tare. Comics yana da dextromethorphan da guaifenesin. Kawai ku yaga ku sha ku samu sauki yana kulele in ka sha. Aha! So yanzu na son comics company Orange Trucks Limited da ke yin kasuwanci da dilancin ta. Maganin likitanka comics.
Welcome back. You're still listening to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. In the year 2021, the global health sector is still suffering from major setbacks since the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic across the world, causing various problems. However, the spread of the disease to many parts of the world is still one of the major challenges facing the world. Hauwa Adamu Kiyawa takes a look at the challenges the healthcare sector faced in the outgoing year and files in this report.
Since onset, the first phase of the corona pandemic, the world has been disarray with the devastation caused by a number of factors, including the most serious health problem. Doctors and many people have lost their lives of the disease for the first time, while people are being monitored and careful and even given immunization. In the 2021, there was an outbreak of a new coronavirus variant called the Delta variant, which also killed and injured millions of people worldwide. In the United States, at least 250,000 people have died, and more than 11 people have been infected in the United States. In America, more than 400 people died each year as a result of long prescription medical recording. In China, where the outbreak took place in Wuhan, at least 4,800 people died of the disease. In addition, at least 200,000 deaths, as well as population of the environment. In India, cancer is a major problem affecting more than 1.3 billion people, despite the fact that the coronavirus has worsened their health and increased the risks of heart disease and stroke. In Africa, 3 diseases afflict the population, including malaria, tuberculosis, and pneumonia, while 50% of children under the age of 5 died as a result of measles, and many children died from vomiting and diarrhea in Africa. While in Nigeria, there are a number of health problems that are causing the sector to lag behind in the international ranking. Poor health care is one of the biggest challenges facing the health sector right now, with doctors and health officials still facing major challenges, especially in terms of paying their salaries and allowances by the government. Most health workers in the country to persuade the government to meet their needs, but it poses a serious threat as doctors seeking to go on strike. However, the strike usually hits the poor and rural areas who depend on the doctors in their hospitals. In Kano State, chairman of the Pharmacists Association of Nigeria here in Kano, Pharmacist Sana Aliyu, described some of the challenges they face, including the inability of doctors to prescribe drugs.
Committee at the level of the Ministry of Health, the PIC, and the tax force are not allowed by law to dispense or sell drugs to the populace. Various committees are working on that, and a lot of people have been arrested based on the offenses they committed.
What are the roles of nurses in time of success and challenges? Alhaji Idris Zubair Dambata, the director of nurses at Ministry of Health Kano, shed more light on their challenges and achievements.
Of yet another post-basic program in ophthalmic. That means those nurses that are willing to go and specialize in the management of patients with eye problems. So this government has already granted approval, and other resources needed for quality of teaching and the training to take place in our health institutions. Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria has now designated Kano as another zone office that will oversee achievement in all schools. The major challenge is one, and where there is high demands for healthcare services. Still, we are having shortage of manpower in our health facilities. The government is trying to address this gap, but the demand is on the increase. The population, which is our strength, is also increasing. So that means the demand is increasing, which is a serious challenge. And when you look at some of the health indices in the rural communities are much higher. The death rates, that is the maternal mortality, are much higher in the rural areas than in the urban areas. When you talk of School of Nursing, we have 2 schools of nursing, Kano and Madubi, which they have 170 admission quotas respectively, which you cannot admit more than that.
Commissioner for Health, Dr. Amin Ibrahim Tsanyawa, while said there was a decline in the prevalence of HIV/AIDS in the state.
It is record have consistently devoted attention and commitment to improve the health indices of Kano State through additional and innovative funding of healthcare services.
The coronavirus is the leading cause of crippling health problems, with the last year of outbreak being reported in Delta, following by another outbreak last October with a new variant Omicron, where in Kano State, the cholera outbreak has inflicted over 300 people, with 173 lose their lives. Safara Utijan Adam, Freedom Radio.
Another foreign scene, Somalia's president on Monday suspended the prime minister for suspected corruption, a move the prime minister described as a coup attempt, escalating a power struggle between the two leaders. The raging months-long dispute has seen both leaders trade allegations over the holding up of parliamentary elections, as is widely seen as distracting the government of the Horn of Africa country from fighting an Islamist insurgency. It will also raise concerns about the prospect of renewed clashes between factions in the security forces, allied to each side, prompting the United States to call for calm. And with this, we've come to the end of today's Global News. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Hauwa Adamu Kiyawa. Have a wonderful evening.
Yo, 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 yo. Oyo.